Hey, what's slicing, everyone? Chris back here with CAC Knives with another video. So, on the weekends, I'm going to try to post every week more of a discussion and comparison video. These may be a little shorter, a little longer than my review videos that I post during the week. This last week, I have been showing my 3 OTFs that are currently in my collection. I probably would have more, but OTFs in Ohio were not legal to buy and sell until this last year. Stupid knife laws allowed you to carry them in Ohio, but you could not buy or sell them. It was very stupid. Luckily, there's some knife activists in the USA working to get rid of all these dumb knife laws that really don't make any sense at all. And now in Ohio, not even just with knives, but even with guns, you can conceal without a permit. So thank you to those people that continue to work hard. Every year they try to get some good donations, and I try to donate a little bit every year. You can definitely do some research on people fighting for rights to deal with knives on the internet. Quick Google search and you'll find their page. But anyways, here I got my 3 OTFs. I will definitely be purchasing more in the future. OTFs are more fidget than anything else. I know a lot of people talk about their self-defense capabilities, but in theory, in my personal opinion, I'm not going to get this deployed much quicker than I am, this. I mean, I know time can be a precious thing in a fight, but I mean, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And I mean, depending on which OTF it is here that I'm carrying with me, the fact that some of them are just so heavy may actually make it hinder me in a fight instead of, helping me. But in terms of knife use, like EDC use, breaking down boxes, cutting things out of packages, etc. They're a lot more fun to use than, say, regular pocket knives. But as far as like blade steel and handle materials and stuff like that goes, generally you are going to be paying more for materials in an OTF than you are, say, a regular EDC knife. And there are a lot of reasons for that. For one, OTF knives have a track inside, and it's going to be more expensive to produce a knife that automatically comes out on its own. Now, I know there are spring-assisted knives. Very different though. A spring-assisted knife, you don't have a track. It's just a little spring in there. You don't have a safety feature. There's a lot going into OTFs. And, I think they're awesome, me personally. But in terms of cost to materials goes, you are better off just to get, you can find there's a lot of good budget brands. Civivi, me personally, this is the best under $40 budget knife that's out there. If it's still available, this Kubey, like, if you need a knife and you don't want to pay a lot of money, this is the knife. It comes in blue or, OD military green. It's very nice looking. If you're just looking for a cheap knife, that would be the way I would go. But if you want an OTF, that's kind of fun, that's also under $40, the Lightning OTF, worst blade steel, you know, it's pretty grippy. It's a lot heavier though, you know, probably almost twice as heavy. I do need to get me a scale to just be able to back up what I mean on screen here, but it definitely is a lot heavier. And that's another thing with OTFs, you know, with all that stuff built up inside of the knife, they are going to be heavier. I mean, even my lightest one is definitely heavier. Now, before we get any further with the review, I know one of the things somebody wanted me to demonstrate on screen was the safety feature. Now, we're going to see how well it does. This is, 4 pieces of paper here. And I'll show you how the safety feature of the OTFs work. And we'll see how far each one of them goes into the paper. So, they all have a safety feature built into them. And what it's supposed to do is it hits the paper, it barely goes in, makes it come off the track, and then you pull the blade out and set it back on the track. Now, I've tested this with each of these knives, and with each of them, it has worked. But, you know, we'll see if it works a second time. So here's the $30 Lightning OTF. Now, this is kind of the just in case you accidentally deploy it when it's not supposed to be deployed. It's built in to not go that deep into your skin. Obviously, it's going to go in a little bit. Tips of knives are sharp, you know, hence the kind of joke warning label that comes on all the knife boxes and stuff. Warning, product may be sharp. But here's the Lightning. Now, as you can see, you even know if it's big enough to show up on camera. Right there. So, smaller hole in the second piece of paper. Even smaller hole. So small that you probably can't even barely see it on the camera. On the third, and there is no hole at all on the fourth. Now, that's all the damage that it did. Look at that. That's it. That tiny of a hole. Because it's just the tip of the knife going in. Now, it is off the track. Look. It's off its track. All you got to do to reset it, pull it all the way out, back on track. And works like a charm. That's the safety feature. All right. So that was the Lightning. Keep in mind, now that knife was under $30. So that's crazy. So here we go. Here's the Blade City. All right. Let's check her out. During my review later on in the week, or earlier in the week, I said it was a Tac Force. That was a mistake. Viper Tech is the brand that makes, the cheaper brand that makes OTFs. So I think that's a Viper Tech knife. But in terms of the test goes, as you can see, about the same kind of hole. It's a little bigger, but the knife's bigger, guys. You know, did it go through the fourth piece of paper? That one did go through the fourth. But like I said, the knife is bigger. The blade's bigger. It's heavier. But just like the other one, came off the track. Pull it all the way out. Good to go. It's very cool. It's a very cool safety system. I thought it was amazing when I did it the first time to test it. So here is the much more expensive $150 with, in my opinion, a heavier spring. I have not actually tested this one. So let's see how she does. Wow. So this one, you can see there, just barely. Didn't even go through the second piece of paper. Wow, that's impressive. Now, the blade shape definitely has a great deal to do with that. Like this one's blade, you know, it's not a Tanto. It's not a Tanto blade. And that's definitely going to have something to do with it. But This one didn't even come off the track. So maybe I wasn't close enough to the paper. Maybe that's it. We'll do it again. This one's just pushing it forward. Let me get closer here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we went through the paper. I was wondering, I was like, wow, it didn't even come off the track. So that's the hole from the Cobra Tech, from the Blade City knife, and from the Lightning. On the fourth piece of paper, only the Blade City knife went through. And just as with the other three, you can see, came off the track. Oh man, I'm gonna get a bunch of fingerprints on this nice satin finished blade here. Might be a little dirty now, but there, I reset it back on the track. Good to go. So there you go, Will. You wanted to see that. It's pretty neat, the safety feature on these knives, how it just knocks them off their tracks. In terms of comparing them goes, in my opinion, this one's more of a luxury piece. Like, if you like the looks of it, okay. If not, it probably isn't worth its cost. It really probably isn't. You know, it's got the finish issues. It looks cool. It does. That's what drove me to it. If you want a tack force knife, that's probably more worth its materials. Get one of the, there I go, saying tack force again. If you want a Viper Tech knife, that's more worth its materials. They have cheaper ones than this that are just basic collars. And they also have an actual Damascus one. That's about $110 or $120 on BladeCity.com. Maybe you should check those out instead. Now, if you like the looks of it, you know, that's what this knife is for, is the looks. So, now we compare the lowest end to more of the mid-tier of OTFs. Lightning OTFs are 100% worth their price. 100%. There is no doubt. An OTF knife for 30 bucks, I mean, what happens? If you break it or you lose it, you just buy another one. They are readily available online everywhere. Their safety feature works just as good as the Cobra Tech. Their blade steel is worse, but my gosh, you know, you can buy 5 of these compared to 1 of these. Now, with that being said, what are you getting for that extra price? Well, you're getting the very unique Spartan themed finish on the aluminum. It's a Cerakote finish, very hard to come off. You're getting an upgrade in blade steel. It is D2 steel. They have multiple blade options you can choose, and you can buy different blades on their website. Take it apart, put the new blade in, and you have a new blade shape. Something you can't do with the Lightning. Just like the Lightning, there are multiple colors, but unlike the Lightning, the Cobra Tech will come in multiple sizes. If you need a smaller one or a larger one, this is right in the middle, the sweet spot. The Cobra Tech, even though it is about the same size, it is definitely lighter. Way lighter than the Lightning. And I think it'll last longer. I mean, I personally do. I think the finish will last longer. It definitely looks better. It also has the kind of tipple smasher window breaker on the end, which you can get a screw for if you don't want that there. The only issue that I had with it is the fit and finish on the deployment button there. It's kind of equal to the $30 one. But other than that, you know, very, very nice. They have a USA color scheme. and I will probably get that in the future. Not to mention that the Cobra tech is also assembled in Texas, so you are supporting an American business buying a Cobra tech, as opposed to a Lightning OTF, which are made in either China or Thailand, I think. Paying USA workers is much more expensive, also driving up that price. So there's a lot of factors that go into making knives. Now, when I said earlier about price and OTFs compared to price and pocket knives, we're going to compare. So the Kubey is a very unique G10 sculpt that also runs on bearings. It's a, not deep carry, but it's got a clip. Handle-wise, about the same size. Definitely thicker, you know. But we're talking close to the same size knife here. You got satin going through a DLC-coated blade. All of this you see here definitely required multiple steps on the assembly line. Keep that in mind. Now, this was made in China, not in America. But you can get a USA-made Kershaw, you know, the Blur, for about 60 bucks, and it is made in America. And you'll see it in a later video. I will also have a review of this in a later video. But my point here is, look at this. D2. Kind of a mid-grade steel. Very good steel. D2. So you have bigger, chunkier knife that weighs less. This is under $40. Okay? Now, is the design on this better? Yes. Are Americans being paid to sell this? Yes. It is assembled in America. Yes. You can swap the blades. Yes. This is an automatic, not just an automatic, but an OTF. Yes. But if we're talking, you just want a good, reliable knife, you are going to be very, you know, you're going to be overpaying for an OTF to do knife things compared to just kind of regular pocket knives. And even knives like Case, you know, and like Rough Rider, all of those, you know, traditional style knives are way cheaper than OTFs. So with OTFs, I mean, you can say you're paying for a self-defense factor, but I mean, that's fast, guys. If you really want to say you're buying it for self-defense, it does come out quicker. How quicker? I'm sure there's other videos that show you how much quicker, but, you know, Emerson is a brand out there. It deploys when you pull it out of your pocket. Arguably, it is the fastest deploying knife that's out there. Faster than OTFs. And you can get push-button automatic knives, which you push on the sides. You pull out, push it, and it'll come out just as fast as an OTF. And, not to mention, the OTF, if you're going to buy it for self-defense, it's not going to work that way instantly, because it has to lock in. Because if you open it into somebody, you're going to run into the safety feature, and the blade's not even going to be locked. So, overall, if you are a knife collector, OTFs, you're going to love them. You're going to absolutely love them. They're going to be fun. They're going to be fidgety, because that's what OTFs are. They're very fidgety. They're going to wear your thumb out, but they're very fidgety. If you want to go high end, you know, you got Microtech, you got ProTech, Ultratech, all high end OTF makers. You got some custom knife makers like Heretic Knives making very, very, very beautiful looking OTFs, but a lot of times you're going to be paying between $1,000 to $2,000 there. And with the Microtechs, Ultratechs, etc., if you want a, you know, regular EDC sized medium OTF, you're going to be paying $300 plus. This is $150, and it's hard for me to justify going that high for basic collars. You know, I can get pretty collars on them, but then you're talking $500 or $600 for very nice, unique designs. So to sum it up, I think if you want an OTF, I suggest you get a $30 one first, or even, you know, $50 or $60 one. Try them out. If you like it, then you explore more expensive, prettier, nicer looking options. And if you don't like it, well, you're only out, you know, 30 bucks. You're only out 60 bucks. If you're just looking for an EDC use knife, which if you're coming to a knife channel just to look for one knife, it's probably not going to take you very long. Then you need a, oh, I mean, I recommend flipper knife, but if you thumb stud's your thing or traditional's your thing, there are much cheaper options with better materials in both of those knife categories. Thank you guys for watching. If you don't care, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I am a slowly growing knife channel. I'd like to keep growing. Again, at 500 subscribers, I will do my first giveaway. So why not go ahead and subscribe, give you a chance for a free knife. And then eventually, if I get up to 1,000, I will give another knife away. Next week, I will be doing Damascus and Zirconia. Very excited to do those videos. It's one of my favorite materials ever for knives. Zirconia may just be my favorite, besides maybe Baker Forged Damascus, which is a new thing. The first video of those will be up Monday, and I hope to see you guys there. Have a good Saturday.